Hey, what's up, guys? It's episode 17, May 29th on a Monday, 2023, Memorial Day. And please, at this time, say hello, warm welcome to the hardest working man in entertainment who would stand on his head even to please those doubters out there, Mr. Randall Santa Checker Lee.
Hey everybody, happy Memorial Day, everybody. Really happy Memorial Day. I'm glad everybody can join us and hopefully watch this replay. But um, man, what an amazing day. I just got to say before we get started, I just want to thank really everybody that that did the sacrifice for us for all those years. I tell you, I got to look up always any service person, and then of course when they didn't make it, or regardless if they've lost, a limb or whatever. I just can't thank them enough for all they do for us and our freedom and all that. I just wanted to say that first. But Bob, thank you so much as always, of course, for your wonderful intro. And of course, Bob, great to see you. I hope you're having a great holiday, barbecuing and having some fun out back.
Well, we did yesterday. We went ahead since we had the show today and had my daughter Angela, everyone knows, cooked fajitas, chicken and beef out on the grill. Wife made all the fixings in here. Had a big get together. Went out Saturday night to celebrate. So it's been a great weekend so far. And today, just kind of taking it easy. We did get started on the house a couple of weeks ago, and my daughter, my granddaughter, her boyfriend Jose have all been out scraping the side of the house, trying to get all the paint off over, having to scrape it back to the bare wood, and probably do a little bit more of that this afternoon after we get off the show. Wife's been out front painting and fixing windows, caulking, and all kinds of things. So it's full blown home improvement time here at the McMaster's household. And I want to reiterate what Randy said about the ultimate sacrifice, and our hearts go out to those families who have lost loved ones defending our flag and our country. It's such a wonderful day that our country sets aside Memorial Day for those who have fallen heroes. And I just want to, let everyone know from the Tuesday night live show to the Monday Bob Randall and Company live show that we are so grateful. Without those folks and the sacrifice, our freedoms would always be in danger, which sometimes they still are. But that's why we have the military and why we have to do the things we have to do. All right, man. Here we're summertime. That's about all I can say. Hot, chance for afternoon pop-up showers. Pretty typical for the end of May, 1st of June. So, how's the weather where you're at this week, Randy?
It's spectacular. It's been in the 70s and 80s, down to the 60s at night for sleeping. It's just been spectacular. And I just had new gutter guards. I had my gutters fixed and gutter guards put on there, and I'm going like, wow, I wish it would rain to see how cool they work. I had them cleaned out and everything. It's like, come on, rain, so I can see if the water go down the downspouts, which they never have since I've had the house. So I'm kind of like, I don't want rain because I'm got a barbecue after we're done here again tonight. I grilled out again, same as you did yesterday. It was just fantastic weather, and it's going to be that way for over a week up here. So thank you. I love
Very
the
nice.
warm weather, but I want to see how good those gutter guards work. Actually, I got to wait till the fall, don't I? Till the leaves fall again before they. So I guess I got to wait a
Yeah.
long time. So
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. You spend all the money on gutters. Either you buy them and install them yourself, as I did, or you have someone else install them for you, and then you get the giant cloud burst, and it rains so hard that the rain runs past the gutter and still over the edge. We have those here in Texas.
that's what I'm afraid is going to happen. It's just going to go right over that screen that they put in, and just go over the edge like it did anyway. So I'll wait and see. I'll wait and
The,
see.
the struggles are real. All right, man. Hey, how about some something burger? You ready?
Oh yeah, grill
Let's
time
do
is
it.
ready.
All right, so hey, real quick, like I know we always going to jump into the something burger, and then something else pops in that seems important, but something I didn't mention in our opening that I would like to mention. I want to say a great big congratulations to the greatest people I know, uh, and some folks, didn't see this coming. Those of us who know the clown well have seen it coming for months now, but Spangle and Georgetta are at the justice of the peace right now, tying the knot. That's right. Spangle is getting married. Georgetta Clown will be his bride within minutes. And just want to say congratulations to both of those. They are really a excellent couple. They have really gelled as one, and I'm so happy for both of them. And so, hey, reach out to Spangle and congratulate him if you get a chance today.
Congratulations, Bangle, man. That's good. It's always great to to find that someone. Daisy May was amazing, and Daisy May'd be happy knowing Spangle is happy too. It really is.
Yeah, and he gives Daisy May so much credit for turning his life around
Yeah,
and being that pillar of stone that he needed. And she used to joke a lot that he was her redemption into heaven uh, as a project. And I mean, Spangle's a good guy. Everybody knows that, but it was always a joke between them. And Daisy May cannot be replaced, and the Lord blesses us with, sometimes one, two, three marriages. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. Georgetta lost her husband. She's a widow. She is from Ukraine. She escaped the war, came over here to try to, for a safe haven. Let's put it that way. And ended up in a little town that Spangle's in, and they met and they hit it off instantly. And as many of you have seen, they've been together now for months, and like I said, really happy for both of them, and he's excited. Says, that's exactly what he needs at this point in his life, and he's blessed for a second time. So,
that's fantastic. I mean, it really is. That's. I mean, we all need, and we all need somebody to be with, and because those nights and days get pretty lonely at the house alone. I definitely understand.
well, you do, and and my heart goes out to you too, Randy. That you know, hey, if you do or if you don't, you never know. The Lord has a different plan for you, and He may drop somebody in your life and change your life. Also, never can tell.
Never know. So that's
Yep.
why.
All right, something burger. Let's go ahead and get going here on these hot topics. Two hot topics. This is where we always ask our audience, our viewers, our friends, our brothers and sisters to chime in and give us what you think about these questions. And as always, customary, Randy goes first.
I don't understand. I haven't been sending checks to you lately, Bob, about that. But I'll still saying the checks in the mail, right? But this is
Yeah.
kind of again another just kind of questionnaire question. And I don't want to make it sound bad, but let me ask a question. What is your biggest frustration about being Santa or Mrs. Claus? We all have something that kind of bothers us or we're concerned about. I know we love our job and we're as thankful daily as can be, but there are some days that, like, wow, is it the parents that bother you? Is that like maybe love the children? I love being Santa, but the parents are a pain. Or there's only 6 or 7 weeks Saturdays, and you wish there was more. Is that? Of course, we can't change the calendar. I'm just curious. Is there traveling between gigs and you wish because you live in a small town you've got a long that frustrates you? You got too much travel time, and you wish you could see more children. Just kind of curious. What are some of your frustrations? Is it paperwork? Is it the cost of your suits? Just kind of curious. What is your frustrations about being Santa or Mrs. Claus? Mine is usually like only having those 6 7 weeks of Saturdays, or and there's only 1 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, and there's only one Christmas Eve, or there's so those are kind of things. And of course my frustration, I think the biggest one is the weather, because you just don't know here in Michigan what we're going to get, because Santa can't not be there if it snows. How can you tell the children, sorry, Santa can't make it, it's snowing? So those are probably, and again, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't change the weather. I can't do
Yeah.
that. But I guess those are my frustrations. And I'm not, so I'm just kind of curious. What are some things that are concern you? I see, oh, Rex is the pushy parents. Boy, and I brought that up a few weeks ago about pushy parents is one of the questions. How do you handle a pushy parent? But that is also, and sometimes the parents thinks they know more than Santa does about how to interact with the children. Yeah, pushy parents are a big one. So, but yeah, how about you, Bob? What do you have any things that a little bit concerning? I guess maybe frustration. I don't know if it's a total.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to spell it out in concerns, the word concerns to me would be just safety. Safety of being able to get to work each day, get home each
Yeah,
day safe, safety at the mall. If you're out, traveling from A to B to C, doing gigs all day long, the safety of your travel, those, safety is just always in my mind. I don't know why, but you can never be too safe. And of course, parents is always one. Parents can frustrate you, be it at the mall or be it. I mean, I've even been in public and seen parents where they were just downright rude to their children, and I just think to myself, you know, poor child, what they
And
have to
you
live through, and
and you
what's
want
that
to say
what's
something,
that
you
going to
really
do to them
do.
in the future? As they grow older, is that always going to be there?
Yeah,
And
you
so, I mean,
definitely
pretty
want to say
much,
something. But that's good. And I see Ted Flint, Dad. We got Ted and Rex and Kimmy and Sean and Ben and everybody on. But good, Ted's got a thing. My biggest frustration is that the elves and others that help the things don't take it as seriously as we do. And that's as important as we make how to make the kids happy and everything.
that
Uh,
I agree. I agree.
can't explain to them because they're just there for the money, and
Just
that's
a,
and that's they don't have the love. They're just putting in a Christmas, getting a Christmas paycheck. Yeah, they don't have that, and it can become, oh, please just be a little bit sweeter, just be a little bit more, whatever. But yeah, that can be definitely bothersome.
yeah.
Right on.
Let's pass along Ben Bellhorn's comment here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was further up the page. He says he's not can't join us, but thank you for the continuing prayers. He brought Bailey home today from the hospital. He was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma and starts chemo on Friday. So everyone, please keep Ben and his wife and family and Bailey in your prayers. Also, I know there's a lot of prayers out there today. Add him to them, please.
That's for sure. Well, yeah, we will continue, Ben, without a doubt. Families, man, that's like I said. I was telling Bob earlier. My son-in-law is back in the ICU again too with his heart, so he's been in and out for the past 2 weeks. So we don't know if he's even going to make it out of the hospital. So
I
we
was
all
going to let
hit. You never know. So let's get back to the. I apologize. Let's.
Well, I was
Yeah,
going to leave it
Sean,
up to
how
you
are you?
to
Um,
leave it up to you to mention if you were going to mention it.
yeah, sorry.
I
It
took it
kind of
before the
fit in
show.
with what Ben said, and just and again, prayers to. There's so many families that have hurting family members, and it's such a wonderful community. Send out prayers, and
Yes,
regardless what's going on, that's what's just again kind of off topic, but it's so warm, heartwarming, and just amazing about this community, the Santa Mrs. Claus community. That the care, the loves, the prayers that go out when something goes on is overwhelming. Is so, and I know you guys will send it out to everybody. So thank you
yes.
for everybody. Um, Sean, how are you, Sean? Good to see you. Again, same thing. Wow, parents are really on the hot list today. Um, the lack of the parents and guardians' imagination. Sometimes the stuff they tell the children is disappointing, whether they can be scary or situation that's in Michigan. Yeah, and also a lot of parents they use Santa as that if you don't, he's not going to, or I mean, it's just we're like the
Bad guy.
yeah, the bad guy, and we don't want to be. We just want to make
We're
them
the good.
smile and happy and everything else. But
We're the
yeah,
good guy, but parents use us as a bad guy. And I agree with you, Randy. That's one that I didn't mention, but that has got to be up at the top of the list also because
yeah, I kind of think that's
and
also part of the that Sean's talking about is that just
yep.
you saying disappointing things that the parents will say to the children and use this as a wedge or whatever you want to call it.
I
So
real quick,
I
one that struck me as really strange. I had never heard of until I don't know, it's been maybe 6 seasons ago. But in the chair, a father kept telling his children that Santa was going to pour salt in their eyes if they were bad and they wasn't going to bed on Christmas Eve.
what?
I, I had never heard of that before.
Never heard. I've never heard that
And
either.
when he stepped away, I looked at the children. And I said, Santa would never, ever in all the years do anything to harm any child. Santa is one of your best friends and always will be and here to protect you. And just kind of gave him a little spell on that. But I was blown away by that. And I have heard others talk about that since then. I'm not real
Oh,
sure how it's the content of it, or in context how it's used, but
yeah.
uh, craziness. I mean, some of the things that parents tell children.
That's exactly what Sean said. The scary things that that parents tell their kids. Ouch, ouch.
Ah,
That are definitely not true, and we don't want to convey that at all as our character at all. Not at all. Next one is Facebook user. I'm not sure which one it is. People not being a man or a woman of their word. That's for sure. When you say that you can, sorry, when you say that you are going to do something, you do it, and then your integrity keeps it intact. And that's a lot of people don't have. I hate to say integrity about that. When you respect someone, you know, you don't want to be disrespected. And
and
that's
that is Eric and Moesha.
okay. That is very, very, I mean, it, and there's just no, I don't, I guess I don't get the disrespect nowadays, the way things are. I really don't. When I was young, you respected your elders, you respected anybody in uniform, you respected, you know, you might not have agreed with them, but you gave them respect just by the office and the thing they're in.
Yeah.
But that's a different story. Ted says again, what comes from German version of that comes from a German version of Krampus. They said the salt in the eyes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty scary. I mean, I think it's bad enough that they say, well, you're not going to get presents. Santa's not going to leave you anything. That to me is kind of rough enough already. You're, you can use it as leverage to a point, of course, but then to pour salt in your eyes. Ah, no. But I mean, maybe that was a big thing when that gentleman was younger, and it just he remembered that. Well, his parents told him that probably, and
Could very well be.
yeah. Sean, great. Parents who let their children watch scary Santa movies. Yeah, that's not cool, is right. Children are scared to death of bad Santa. Yeah, bad Santa, and then isn't what was that? Uh, One with Mel Gibson that was just in. I can't remember what it was. He was a vigilante Santa, or whatever the heck that was called. That was pretty rough. He
Yeah.
was pretty intense movie. I mean, I'm sorry to say I had to watch him just to say I watched him, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yes. I never understood because I did clowning for so many years. People that would watch the movie It. And I think I've said this before. There was a young lady, she was 28 years old, petrified of me as in my makeup. And I wanted to know from the family why. And they said she watched It 5 times. Well, for one thing, why did she watch It 5 times? She was terrified that much. But and you got to remember, 28-year old, you got to remember that is just a movie. But yeah, you shouldn't do those kind of things because it does affect. It does. Oh, Fat Man. That was the name of the movie. Thank you guys. Whoever typed that. That was Fat Man is the name that I was talking about. He was like Santa was a very horrible vigilante. Scary. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's so
Yeah.
many great things. Parents got that one, Shawnee, but there are just those little things. I mean, most of our job. I mean, we are just so blessed and so fortunate with what we can do. But there are those things that um, can be frustrating, you know. So great list, guys. Great. American version. Okay, Krampus. Here we came. I did get that one. I'm sorry. That lit up for blue for some reason just now. But great, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yep.
Bob's got an
Good
incredible
job.
question too. But you guys
Good
are
job.
always just right on the money and just such a great part. Thank you, guys. Bob, it's
Well, I
you.
mean, go on to something that makes us all smile. Great question, though, Randy, and great conversation. For mine is, how many of you have a sleigh? How do you use it? Photo ops, in studio or otherwise? Do you use it in parades? Do you plan on buying one in the future if you don't have one? If you do have one, or if you're looking to buy one in the future, are you looking for a two-seat cutter, a four-seater, or even that expanding cargo model where it has the cargo area in the back where Santa carries his giant bag? Let's kind of see what everyone says here. I inherited a sleigh with Sat Bob, Santa in the Business Being Santa. Gordon had got one from Tom Cordemelia, had gotten rid of his. He downsizing, him and Janice was moving. I'm sure you've all heard about that from Tennessee back to Oklahoma. And Gordon ended up getting his sleigh, and then it was left to me with the school. So I am now a sleigh owner.
Cool. How big is it? How big is it?
It's a two-seat
Two
cutter.
seater.
Uh-huh.
Very cool. I think it would be amazing to have one, but then I think about it, how am I going to transport it? I got a truck now, so I guess I can get a, a trailer, but I got two cars in my garage area now, so the other one I don't use that much. If I would get rid of the second car, I'd put it in there. So
Uh-huh.
if I would sell my other car, I would probably think about it now. And
Yeah, we put mine in storage in our storage area, and to keep it out of the weather. It'd been out in the weather for a few months. It was actually sitting in the town square up in Honey Grove, Texas,
wow,
for the Christmas season. Anyone and everyone could go up, climb in it, take photos with it. Gordon put it up there while he was over at the big box sporting goods store in Garland working for the season, and so we put it back inside, and it actually will fit in the back of a mini truck, a mini pickup truck. My daughter's got a
really?
four-door Dodge. Uh, what's it, Dakota? Yeah. Dakota, and it'll actually fit in the back of it.
How I mean,
The cutters
how
will.
heavy is it? How heavy is it? Two, three people pick it up? Is that it?
Two people.
Two people pick it up. See,
I
that
grabbed
would
the
be
front, and uh, another gentleman grabbed the back, and we picked it up and set it inside. Well, actually, we set it out of the grass over on the driveway, and then it has casters on it. Rolled it down and put it in an enclosed trailer to transport it.
wow,
But
very
a lot
cool.
lighter than you would think. Even with all the material that was there, the metal runners and the wooden uh, box and seat area and all that. It's very nice, though. Very nice. All right, so let's get over here and see what we have. Mel Santa did have a heart. He did not go after them. Talking about Mel Gibson. Is that what we're talking about, or he was attacked?
No, he had
Mel
a heart.
Santa.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was technically supposedly going after bad guys, but it
Okay,
was still very graphic as
that's one I
Santa.
didn't see, so I'm
Yeah,
not familiar with it. Let's
you
see.
don't
I'm
need to
not
see it.
sure. Again, looking back over here where I've got my other window open in Facebook that has the names. Dana Pastrollo says that they have one used for photos, and it's a two-seater. Next is Nathan. Nathan says, I just got a sleigh, plan to use it for photography work and then for parades. Rex says, had one and a stuffed reindeer used in parades, but was way too much, so sold it to a wedding venue. Now they loan it to us for the parades. That's cool to be able to get it back and use it. Ted says, my wife would not let me buy a sleigh, so I talked to my photographer and they're getting one. That's good. Uh, Looking for someone to put us in a parade. Dana. Dana again? Yes. Okay, Dana again. Jenny Lynn says, hello, happy Memorial Day from Minnesota, America. Hi, Jenny. And Carlucci, if he's there with you, happy Memorial Day. All right, fantastic. And a couple of years back, I do a annual event with a real estate company, and they were loaned a real nice sleigh and took it to an old antique store that had uh, old wood stalls, almost looked like well, it actually did look like stables, and set it in there with a stuffed reindeer and the took pictures, 6 hours worth of photos with that, and absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. Some of the time I climbed in the sleigh with the children. Other times I stood around behind, off to the side, and it worked out really good.
It's got to be fantastic extra. I mean, photos, and of course, some people it's a great upcharge. You're renting it to them besides, so you can make a few dollars there, kind of pay it back if you've got to refurbish or whatever the thing. I think it's a if I can sell my, which I think I can pretty easily sell my other car, I would think about getting one. And it seems like Michigan, we have a lot of people selling sleighs. So
Well, Randy up there, Schneider, is that his last name? Randy Schneider, I think, is the one that sells a lot of the sleighs. He goes out and finds them
and
and then
he's
sells them to the Santa community.
yeah. So
And Larry Jefferson, Santa Larry Jefferson, he's bought quite a few through the years. He's got a large storage building with many, but he's all the time selling one so he can buy another one. So keep your eyes open. They're out there. All right. Are you ready to go into the santascloset.org trivia for the day?
sounds good to me.
Let's go.
Hey everyone, Elf Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live. The show about nothing. Bob, Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by Santa's Closet. Santa's Closet has been delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since 2004. Santa's Closet's main goal is to provide both a superior customer experience with tremendous value for their customers. Santa's Closet brings more than 400 separate products to the Claus community at a reasonable price. Santa's Closet is under new ownership. Let's welcome Santa Wade and Scarlett Kaufman of Tennessee, whom will continue the tradition of bringing you products of unparalleled quality and design. Don't forget to visit their sites at santascloset.org and support their efforts of bringing quality products to the community. This is Angela Mack reminding you to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
All right, so it being a national holiday, I decided we better go a little bit easy on our guests today. They may be tired; they've been out barbecuing, having fun, been in the heat. So this is a fairly easy one today. Let's see who gets it first.
Pretty easy. Here we go. What six-term representative from Tennessee died at the Battle of Alamo in 1836? That was what six-term representative from Tennessee died at the Battle of the Alamo in 1836. Excuse me, 1836.
Yeah, and this is santascloset.org is now based still, always has been out of Tennessee.
Tennessee.
So we thought this would be a good one. And I didn't realize that this person had been a six-term
Six terms. I
representative.
had no idea that was six-term either. Representative.
Yeah,
Guess I got to catch up on my 1800s history, I guess.
yeah, yeah, myself for sure.
Long time.
Uh, and looks like we got some good answers already coming in. I figured this one would be a little bit easier. Definitely easier to Google if you had to Google it. So not all those blanks and blanks and blanks and more blanks with a few more blanks behind that. Okay, well, fantastic. Let's go ahead and do our out video, and we'll be back on the other side of that with the Elf and Chatterbox news. We got some good stuff today. This just into the studio, hot off the wires. Elf and Chatterbox News is reporting that Spangle and Georgetta, and we call her Jetta for short, are a married couple. Yay! Fantastic stuff. Also, real quick, hot off the wires, everyone look over there at Randy. That's right, he got his Tuesday Night Live hat in. Fantastic, wearing the swag, wearing it proud. Again, if you're interested in some of our Tuesday Night Live merch, go over to fancylees.com, and grab that stuff and check out what we got. More stuff coming. And here in the very near future, we're going to be working on Bob, Randall, and Company Live merchandise to add to that. So be looking forward to that coming real soon. School of Santa's 2 weekends to choose from, July 13th through 16th, is sold out. You can still get your name on a waiting list if, for any reason, anyone has to cancel, which cancellations do happen. But there's already 110 signed up for that. And that's pretty much max seating inside of the conference center. July 20th through the 23rd still has about 25 seats left. If you plan on going, time is running out. Get yourself over, contact Tanya, and all that information is on the groups. You can find it very easily. We just want to mention Gordon Bailey's Memorial, June 10th in Honey Grove, Church of Christ, 403 West Main Street. That's 11 a.m. Central Time. Looking forward to that. If you have not and you are planning on going and coming to the RSVP barbecue, RSVP stands for reserved seating. So please reach out to Chrissy and RSVP. They need to know how many folks is actually going to be there to eat so they can prepare enough food for everyone. Donations to Gordon Bailey's Memorial Fund is still coming. We want to give a heartfelt thank you to all who have given. We're still about $2,000 short of our goal there, and greatly appreciate anything that you can give. Now back over to Randy, and this is coming up like this weekend, right?
Yeah, this week up in Rothbury, Michigan, is the Christmas Performers Workshop. Starts this Thursday. I don't know if you can squeak in yet or not for that, but you can definitely squeak in on Saturday and Sunday. Same thing at the Double J for our Jingle Joy retreat. That's open yet for people to sign up and come on up there. It's going to be a great weekend. So there's actually two events, 4 days. It's two different events. The Christmas Performers Workshop, first and the second. And that might have to be prepaid through Santa True ahead of time. So I don't know if we got enough time to squeak in. But we can definitely squeak in on the 3rd and the 4th to come up to Rothbury and hang out, fellowship and fun and a little bit of learning and everything on Saturday. Again, just having fun is free, and there's fire by the fire, and there's movies by the campground. And such a great time that's going to happen up there. But that's this weekend, so it's 1st, 2nd Christmas Performers Workshop. 3rd and 4th is the Double J, the Jingle Joy. So that's this week. I'm leaving Wednesday afternoon.
That's right. And if you will, Randy, go ahead and go through the other two CPW upcoming
right.
events. I know one's in Ohio, there where Ben is. So go ahead and review those two,
Down
please.
in Cincinnati, Ohio, Christmas Performers Workshop by Santa True is the 10th and the 12th of June, just like a week later. So if you can't get in, come up to Michigan this week. The 10th and the 12th, you're down in Cincinnati, Ohio. Again, incredible class. Then if you're not this side of the country, if you're on the West Coast, in August, the 12th and the 13th of August is in La Habra, California. So it's a great class. I mean, what's great when Santa True puts it together, he sends out a questionnaire ahead of time and kind of like with everybody that's signed up, and he then kind of customizes it for if 80% want to know about storytelling, he'll work more on that. If whatever. So he really customizes. Again, it's more performance based, not going to learn how to, sing Merry Christmas and everything else. You will probably, or say, you say jingle, I say, we won't do it. You say Merry, I say, if you've been to his class, you'll understand. But there's two great classes coming up in Cincinnati and in La Habra, California. Don't miss. Every bit of education is better for us and our people we do it, and we owe it to everybody that we perform to do our best. And then, of course, like I was saying, School of Santa, boom, man.
Got it coming. And while we're on that subject, we'll go ahead and jump right on into our upcoming guests and shows. This one is one that we've teased you about for weeks now. This is someone I've been trying to get for 2 seasons. This gentleman works and I thought Randy was hard working. I think this guy's got you beat though, Randy. I mean, my goodness, he does so much in so many, and we just finally was able to line up a Tuesday night that he was going to be off on the following Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. So we was finally able to get him after so long of pursuing him. But Sammy Caleb Brooks, I don't know how many of you know Sammy. He's not as well known here as he is in the UK where he lives in Ely. But he is an entertainer, a producer, a Santa, a magician, a singer, a podcaster, and the list goes on. I could go on and on and on about the things that he does. He is a Elton John impersonator, plays the piano, does stage shows with that. He has been in the band in the past for years and years and years. Lead singer for a band, was a Queen, Freddie Mercury impersonator. I mean, like I said, we can spend all afternoon talking about the things that the man's done, but it's gonna be a fantastic show tomorrow night. So don't forget to come in and check that out.
Don't miss. I
I'm
mean,
going
the
to add,
entertainment he's done is going to be interesting to hear about. It really is. Sorry about it, but it's going to be cool.
yeah, okay, Randy, if you want to pick up June 13th there
Yeah, then
from
we got
there.
June 13th is Julia Cracky again, but the
Uh-huh.
thermal vest again. I've said it every week. Don't go without one of those vests. They are the state of the art. No pun intended. The coolest vest you're ever going to have. No pun intended. And it doesn't matter if you are from Miami or Maine or Minnesota. You know we need that when we are working all day long to have that coolest vest. And it's just so classic made. She sold out at Gatlinburg. She'll have it there. She'll talk about how she made it. But Julia Cracky in her thermal apparel. I mean, it is a have to have. It really is. It's a have to have, and that's June 13th. Then June 20th is Carl White, the jolly blue-eyed Santa. Carl's kind of a new Santa. He's been doing it a few years, but has a great list of accomplishments. A really cool singer right here, of course. I got a really thumbs up because I know Carl was a real big Beatles fan, so I love that, Carl. But don't miss on the 20th, Carl White. Then on the 27th, we've got Bruce Katowicz back. Of course, Bruce was not feeling good a couple weeks ago, but again, speaking of singing, that guy's got a voice that will just that deep, mellow, and he's going to
Yes.
teach us how to make sure we keep our voice. Again, he's a professor at Ontario University in Canada. Yes, he is Canadian. We won't hold it against him. See, I can make that joke. I'm right there. I can see Canada sometimes from not from my window, but yeah, don't miss Bruce. Incredible. You know, he teaches at Charles W. Howard, so his credentials are long, 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 long. Besides, and I say it every time, I know you get tired of me hearing it. To get to Carnegie Hall, I love that idea. Wouldn't it be cool just to be on the stage in Carnegie Hall? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. That's the 27th of June. Then we got July 11th is Jackie Chamberlain. I'm gonna mess her last name up. Jackie, I'm sorry. Chamberlain, Lane or
Chamberlain.
Lynn? Lane. Isn't
Chamberlain.
it Lane on the end? It's Chamber, but
Chamberlain.
Chamberlain. Lynn?
Chamberlain.
Why isn't it Lane? Lain. But see, that's why I knew I was going to butcher it when I started to say it again. I knew I was going to butcher it. Let me stop before I insult her. I feel bad, Jackie. I'm sorry. You've been such an amazing follow the show, and you're such a sweetheart with your thing. But simply Mrs. Claus is what she does. Talent, incredible. Very a professional, of course. Mrs. C, an entertainer, and she's going to talk about her experiences, Mrs. C, and of course about simply Mrs. Claus. It's not simply because that is such a huge thing she's got going there, and that is on July 11th. Then July 13th, of course, boom, starts. We know what that is. School of Santa, everybody. School of Santa for those 2 weeks. We've got live telecast that's going to happen down there. Boom, boom, boom. Tuesday Night Live's going to have live telecasts from all over there. Of course, that's where for 2 weeks again. It's going to be crazy, Bob. You better get some no-dos. You know that, don't you? You got 2 weeks there. You better get some no-dos.
Yeah, and Spangle is adding stuff for us to do. He's wanting to do popcorn movie night one night. He's got some stuff to do in between the two if you're going to the first class and the second class, which quite a few people are.
Yeah.
And those of us who work for Spangle during those 2 weeks got things lined up for us to do on the off days. Gosh, man, I don't know how I'm going to do it all. And then, of course, we're not only going to be doing the Thursday Night Live special the next Tuesday night on the 18th, and then the following Thursday, the 20th, night special, live special again. So 3 live shows, plus we're going to jump in and do some other live stuff while we're there. The second week, Randy's going to be there. He's going to be helping. Elf Angela's coming up for the second weekend. Oh, my gosh, we're going to have the whole crew there. It's going to be so cool.
All right, Angela.
And so that brings me to the next thing here. Let me pull up real quick my schedule because I've added some stuff late this afternoon that I want to talk about. Okay, number 1 is June 6th. That is next Tuesday night, not tomorrow night, but a week from tomorrow night. We are having a special show. We've just decided on this. It was something that we just kind of happen to have an open date because of some reschedules, and it's just sometimes it just works out. School of Santa's a scholarship announcement. We're going to have Spangle, Rex Ray, and Santa Mel, Melissa Lynn, all announce their 3 scholarship winners. Of course, now Rex and Mel will reach out privately to the winners, but publicly we're going to announce them on our show. That's also the first Tuesday of the month, so Jessica will be in. What the heck? We may even bring Scott in just so we got the whole crew in, right? And that's next Tuesday week. That's a week from tomorrow night. School of Santa scholarship announcement. And then we have added, and this one I'm super excited about also. And I know it's a ways down, but August 1st, that's a little ways off. August 1st, Sean Marshall White, Mrs. Claus Vintage, is going to be on the show, and we're so excited about that. She and a few other Mrs. Clauses were on Santa Mel's Thursday Night Magical Group this last week, and all the ladies did such a fantastic job and added so much good information. And so we thought, why not? Let's reach out to Sean Marshall. Thanks to Randy's suggestion, and get her on the show. And we are excited about that. Now, let me see here. Get back on my StreamYard here. It's hiding. Here it is. All right. What do you think, Randy?
Wow, I think it's incredible. I mean, just again, Tuesday nights. What else you doing at Tuesday night for free? What else you doing Tuesday night for free? Just sit back, put your feet up in a nice easy chair, turn on YouTube on the big TV, sit back and watch Tuesday Night Live for free and learn, laugh. Oh, I mean, come on. I mean, that's just it's a gift.
That brings me to something I've been meaning to ask you. Why not do it right now since you mentioned the word free? Do you guys have Spectrum cable systems up there?
No.
Spectrum? Down here in Texas and some other states across the country, they have Spectrum. That's what we have. But they have a commercial where there's a guy that it cuts from clip to clip to clip to clip, but he's constantly saying, and it's free, it's free, it's free, it's free. And it reminds me every time you say that of that commercial. And I was so tired of hearing the commercial, but I never get tired of hearing you say it.
It's such a biz, and I have to say, when Michael Howe said that first word, that's my favorite F word, is free. Sorry, Michael, I stole it, and I've been running with it ever since then. So,
fantastic. All right, man. Our schedule is enough to make your head spin. I know it does mine. We're still working on the rest of the year. The one thing I didn't mention again, I will mention July 4th. July 4th happens to be our Independence Day for America. It's also a Tuesday night, and it is also the Tuesday Night Live's 100th live show, and that's going to be quite a celebration that night too. So, looking forward to that. All right, we got through all that stuff. Let's do the trivia answer at this point. You ready, Randy?
Sorry, I got a cattail here. Say hi, Kitty. Say bye, Days.
What's Kitty's name?
Isn't it crazy? The kitty's name is Daisy May.
Well, that
is Daisy May, everybody.
We have one too, and we've had. How old is Daisy?
13.
13. She's 13. So.
Daisy's just under 14. Yeah.
Crazy. All right.
That's Daisy May. My youngest daughter named her, so she's out.
Well, and our granddaughter Jada was just, of course, she's just turned 17, so she was, small when this cat was born. Her daddy. Funny how the story goes, and I know this is a Santa show, but we had a feral cat have a litter in our backyard, and we set up one of the humane traps. And ironically, she went in it, and all the babies but one went in there. And I don't remember how many she had. You remember? 9, maybe. So 8 of them went in there with her, but one would not go. And we rebaited the trap, kept waiting. We ended up taking it to the Humane Society where they was able to adopt them all out, including the mama. But we couldn't get the one. So I looked at my family and said, you know what? The Lord has done this. He sent this little kitty for us. He wants us to keep it. And so we kept it. Anyway, so Daisy May is his first little offspring. And
wow.
Jada named her. So anyway, all right. So much for my stories. let's go to the trivia answer.
Okay, again, the question was, oh, I lost my question here. We'll get it back. Where was it? Whoops, wrong way.
You want me to read it?
No, I got it. I got rid
Okay.
of the. What six-term representative from Tennessee died at the Battle of the Alamo in 1836? And the number is, he has that funny little thing in the back of his hat. Davy Crockett,
Davy Crockett.
singing over the wild
Just think the same
frontier.
thing. The song always comes to mind. What a show. And our winner is
Ted Flynn.
Mr. Ted Flynn.
Yeah, like
My
Ted Flynn
goodness, Ted,
says,
how
when
about
you were a history teacher, that kind of made it pretty easy for him. Yeah, he was a history teacher, so.
Yeah, it didn't take him long to put that in that comment box. It popped up quick.
Yeah, not at all.
All right, Ted, I'll get your information over to Wade and Scarlett, and they'll send you out something good to enhance your Santa portrayal with. Okay, well, speaking of Santa portrayals, I feel like a magical moment's coming up. You ready?
I do. I feel it too. It's something. Something.
Is it tingly? Tingly?
Yeah.
Is it tingly?
Ooh, I like it.
Make the hair stand up on the back of your neck?
So I got hair left back there? Yes, I got hair back there.
Duck bumps?
Duck bumps. Goosebumps.
Here we go.
Hi, everybody, again. Thank you guys for joining us again. And I can't believe it's 237 days, I think is what's left till Christmas, even if that much. I tell you, it's right around the corner. But that's Christmas. Of course, we start way before that. But I just want to go back to what we've kind of talked about briefly for the last few weeks about that we don't need the props. We just need us. I talked about our smile. I talked about our voice. Now, actually, the next thing I want to talk about that is probably more magical than those two things put together. And without that, we can't even smile. We can't even talk. We can't even perform if you
muted?
don't use this. And that's your mind. That is the most magical thing we have. Our dreams, our imagination, anything. I mean, that is the most magical thing you can do. Like I said before, it doesn't matter our suits. It doesn't matter those things like that. I mean, our voice makes a difference in our smile and everything else. But unless we take our mind and make it fun and make it exciting about things we do and let our imagination go wild, we kind of lose the other stuff on the other end. But we do a little improv every once in a while, and I'm kind of would like you guys to maybe you can do the same. Is when you get a little friend, if it's whatever, it's another Mrs. Claus or a Santa or whatever, you guys getting together and just take a prop. Doesn't matter what prop. If it's whatever, I don't care if it's a jingle bell, if it's your keys, if it's whatever, and try to just take it and try to make your own new story. Take your imagination and just let it go wild. And everybody knows what this is. It's just a magic wand. Now, I was trying to think about what my mind was thinking about. What can I use? Of course, since I do magic as Santa and all that, how can I use a magic wand? Because Santa doesn't wave a magic wand. That's a magician thing. But I thought about what I could use. I took my, the imagination and the dreams and thought about how. So I made up a story about the magic wand. Oh, it was just fun. I would say, oh, Santa was sitting around it. Oh, my elf helper came along. Bob. Yeah, that's right. His name is Bob. Last name is Twinkletoes, but his first name's Bob. And he came to me and he goes, Santa. And he goes, Santa, I have a magic wand that if you wave it, all the children's dreams will come true. And of course, as Santa, he's so excited to think, oh my goodness, that would be wonderful. I want it. Oh, can you make one for me? And of course, Bob, yes, Bob, said, I will make that magic wand for you, Santa. And of course, you will wave it, and all the magical dreams of the children will come true. Of course, me and Santa, I was so excited. And of course, Bob scurried off and he comes back and he goes, "Oh, Santa, 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 here is the magic wand. Oh, all you've got to do is just wave it, wave it." Oh, and when he was saying this, which I didn't understand, as Santa, little Bob was giggling. And I didn't understand why he was giggling. Why is he giggling? You should be excited to know that this magic wand will just wave and all the children's dreams will come true. So he goes, "Santa, wave it. Santa, wave the magic wand." So, of course, I was very, very excited to wave the magic wand. So I waved the magic wand. Of course, I was Bob Twinkle was just teasing me. Of course, he was just laughing, and everybody in the background was just laughing. But so what I did, I won't finish the story all the way, but what I did is we just took this is actually a magic prop. It's a spring. And I took the imagination, took my thoughts, and how could I use this and turn it into what Santa would use? Made a complete story, like we do our backstories. But that's something that would be great for you just to take a few moments and I'm kind of challenging you guys and ladies, of course, to just come up with something. And I know we did this at a Sat Bob's class 2 years ago. They had a bunch of props down there, and like little antlers and rings and things like that. And I was really impressed. The reason why I thought about this again was Michael Howe just scooped up and he holds his hand like this, and it's empty. But he did a whole story about that. He took his mind and his imagination and did a story for the children about what was in his hand, the hopes, the dreams. Look at that. My hands are full. So if we can, our mind are the most powerful and the most magical thing we can ever have. So I just take a few moments and come up with a prop that you can make one more backstory, because holidays won't be too far away, since we usually start the first week or so in November, right around the corner. So find something. I don't care if it's except for the bees. Like I said, I turn these into little puppies. So maybe you can come up with an idea what a gold bow tie can do. Is it something special that turns the package into, just let your mind and dreams go, because that is the most magical thing we have, is what's between those two ears. Some people say I don't have a whole lot there, but it's fun to think about that and think outside the box, and especially then when you're doing it with another Santa or another Mrs. Claus, then that adds fellowship. That adds one mind works off the other, and you get ideas, and it just flows. So kind of a challenge to everybody out there to go out and find a prop, something small. Like I said, even a kaleidoscope I like to use. I mean, little things like that I've shown you before, but take and then make it a backstory, not just a prop to carry around, but like I do with the magic wand, make it a story, make it relatable as Santa. So again, guys, and you guys are spectacular. I just want to thank you so much for being a part of Bob Randall and Company. I just can't thank you enough. Bob, Angela, again, thank you in bottom of my heart for letting me be here. Hope you guys have a wonderful and safe and happy Memorial Day. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.
All right, so here's the challenge. Randy has put the challenge out there. Want you guys to think about it. Come up with a prop, small backstory, submit it to Randy, and Randy is going to pick the top two favorites of his. And I know it's going to be hard, Randy. The top two, and we're going to bring you on the Monday show live to do your presentation of your prop and your backstory. That is because and company means and company, and we need to start getting some company in here.
Fantastic.
That works out fantastic. Wow. You got a couple of weeks to do that, and so put together something, send it to Randy, and let him make the choice. It's up to him, and we'll go from there. Now, you said Twinkle Toes?
Bob Twinkle Toes.
Bob Twinkle Toes.
Bob. Yeah, can you believe his name is Bob? I didn't understand that. I don't know if he spells it forward or backward. As long as it's not with two O's.
Well, it's funny because I've got an elf that calls me Bob Gnarly Toes. Nah. What the heck? Good job, Randy. Fantastic.
Rough visual there, Bob. You know that.
Again, everyone put together a small presentation of a prop, little short backstory, nothing long, something really, quick and easy and informative. Be fun, be a little bit of a homework. And, maybe he'll pick two for 1 week and we'll pick a couple more the next week, a couple more next week. And hey, we may further show up here in the future with, and company, right?
Love to.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
guys. Thank you.
All right. So at this point, I think let's go ahead and move along to Santa's flight checklist for today. Today's Santa's flight checklist. Let's talk about being approachable. Approachable. Just starting out or after a number of years, are you approachable? Not referring to actually performing as Santa or Mrs. Claus or sitting in the chair during an event, but when in public, when you're out in public, whether you're dressed with no red or even Santa casual, folks will recognize you as Santa or Mrs. Claus as a performer actor because even trying to be incognito, your beard or the way you look gives yourself away a lot of times. Children always notices. I know when getting started, guys will post photos on social media frequently because they're proud to be in the industry. They're a new Santa. They're excited about it. They want everyone to get to know them. So it's something that all us new Santas, done for some time. As time goes on, not as much. They're trying to find themselves in a community of lookalikes, and self-promotion is their end game. But after a number of years of folks stopping you in public or interrupting your family dinner when out to a restaurant, some of us would just like to fit in and, fall into that incognito bracket. Here's the thing, though. You are a celebrity in most people's eyes as a Santa or Mrs. Claus. It goes with the territory. I always say, as far as popularity goes, number one is Jesus Christ. Number two is Elvis. And number three is Santa or Mrs. Claus. The lesson here is for you to always be approachable in public and be prepared to slip into character in a split moment. You never know who that person in front of you may be or what they've gone through. Give them the consideration. Always be kind. Always be thoughtful. Always have a smile. Be kind as Christ, as charismatic as Elvis, and as jolly as Santa. The person might be someone that could change your professional career. You never know who that person is in front of you. And that is the Santa's flight checklist for today.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that is. I mean, I'm lucky. I don't have the white, so I just walk down the street. It doesn't. But all you guys out there that are white all year long. I mean, you have to keep that jolly. You have to keep that cordialness all year long. You can't be huffing a cigar and swearing and drinking and or being unapproachable. That is we sometimes we go places as Santa. We're like that rock star. Like I said, let's wear it. And so you have to be approachable all year long. And I'm sure it's got to get tiring for you guys all year long, not to be, you're always in character. You're no longer, you're Santa 24/7. I mean, that's an amazing thing. And to keep up that attitude and thing, wow.
Yeah, and that happened to me just a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it happens to all of us, and it happens all the time. But this particular one was kind of funny because we had went out, the whole family, and some other folks went to a brand new restaurant that we and my wife had never been to. My daughter and son-in-law had been there a couple of times, told us how good it was. Mexican food restaurant. So anyway, we're in there eating, and I mean, I could just literally reach over and touch this little toddler, and she was in a high chair. She had her back turned to me. And she kept turning completely around, putting her arms on the back of the deal and just staring at me. And I was looking out the corner of my eye, and I was trying not to, give her too much attention. And finally, I just turned, and she smiled real big, and I said, "Hi there, how are you, darling?" And she turned around, grabbed Daddy by the arm, started jerking on him, and pointing over at me, and it was really cute. This went on the whole time we were sitting there eating. And as soon as we got up, got our check paid, got ready to exit the restaurant, I stood up and turned around, and here come another little girl. She's probably 5, maybe 6, and almost tackled me. Just ran up and grabbed me, and she starts talking to me, telling me how good she been, Santa, and this Santa, and that Santa. And I must
Man,
have stood there and talked to her for a good 5 or 6, maybe 7 minutes. And by the time I was walking out of this really crowded restaurant, everyone in there was paying attention to what was going on with me and clapping and laughing and carrying on. And I just turned, ho, 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 see everyone later, be good. And out the door I went. But it happens. But at the darndest moments, you never know. And sometimes, like I say, you go out for a quiet dinner and it turns into more than what you expect. But you got to be approachable.
yeah, very. I mean, and because like I said, you're that little girl you said that ran up that was like her rock star she ran up. That was her big celebrity that she wanted to meet. That was like so you just made her day, and she'll remember that for. I mean, and that's
She knew I was Santa. She's telling me all about the milk and cookies she left out. And oh, yes, baby, I know they are so good. I look so forward to your milk and cookies
gracious.
every year. The milk is chilled and the cookies are always warm. And I mean, I played it off, had a fantastic time with it. Of course, my whole family's out in the minivan waiting for me to come. They're used to it. They're used to it.
Yeah, that's
So Ernie says I was at two parades today in patriotic attire. Children from across the common saw me and an adult come over and asked to take a picture. I obligated her and gave coins to all the children and took several pictures. I just absolutely love portraying Santa Claus. And again, approachable. Very good job, Ernie. My hat's off to you, brother. All
great.
right. Any other questions? Any other comments? Did we miss anything up here?
I think we got
Ted Flynn says most of you don't know, but Randy is a real wizard. Yeah, a real cheese wizard. Wait a minute, this cheese whiz.
as long as I
Uh,
don't.
Sean Marshall says she loves this. Randy, talking about your magical moment presentation. Jenny Lynn says this is one of my favorite games. Hi, y'all. Happy Memorial Day from Melissa Lynn. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to talk about. I mentioned the show about the scholarships. Again, I'm not real sure, but I know all the cutoffs are this week. So if you're going to try to get your name in for any of the scholarships, the Mrs. Claus scholarship that Rex has, and then Melissa Lynn's scholarship and our Spangle scholarship, this is the deadline this week. So get it in on the 6th. It's going to be the big reveal show. All right. Did we miss anything? Sean said this would be a good exercise when working with a new Santa. Very true. Imagination is a powerful thing, she says. Fantastic. Randy,
Thank you
what you going to do
guys.
for the rest of the day, brother?
Actually, I'm gonna as soon as we click off, go out and light the grill. My youngest daughter and her husband's out in the living room waiting for me to put the food on the grill for dinner. So
I guess we better wrap this thing up then. Don't forget the Bob Randall and Company live preview show is on YouTube. We sure could use some subscriptions over it, guys. Even if you only subscribe and never go back and watch, at least that helps our algorithm. I got it right that time, Randy. Algorithm with YouTube, trying to build our channel over, pushing our content out. The more we can help, the more new guys we can bring in. Each year jobs go unattended. Jobs don't get filled. Gigs are left sitting on the table at the end of the season each year. We need new folks in the industry, and this is a great way to do it. That's what these shows are all about, Monday and Tuesday, helping everyone learn, including the new guys that may be interested in coming into the industry. I know me being an administrator on a lot of the top Santa groups on Facebook, I'm all the time getting people say, well, I want to join. I'm a new Santa. I'm just learning, or I'm just starting out. How do you do this? How do you do that? And so again, these shows help do that as well. Randy, enjoy your day with family time,
thank you guys.
and
Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Stay safe. Stay
hope
magical.
everyone exactly
And
has a good time. Stay safe. See you right back here again next Monday. Don't forget tomorrow night show with Sammy Clay Brooks, one of the most entertaining hardest working men in the industry. Bye, Randy.
Bye.
Happy Memorial Day, everyone.